Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home.
Welcome, everybody, to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive. And I have a little mind hack for you today that has helped me recently when my mind has been attacking me. It happens. I'm certainly not immune to things that used to drive me to eat that may be driving you to eat right now. And I like coming here and sharing about it. I shared this message in the Secret Sauce group live. If you're not yet part of the Secret Sauce group, I hope you'll join us over there. You just go to Facebook and you type in the Secret Sauce to end emotional eating. Love to have you join us in there. I do a lot of my recordings live in there. You can comment. As you'll hear on the show, some people are commenting and it's so nice to hear their input as I'm sharing this message. So yeah, I hope you'll join us there. And also, if you haven't yet taken the quiz on the website, go to healyourhunger.com, take the emotional eating quiz and find out if you're an emotional eater or not. You know, I talk a lot about emotional eating. That's my jam. You know, it's an umbrella term for any kind of disordered eating. It really doesn't matter. I find that whether you're under eating or overeating or puking or restricting or, you know, doing a little orthorexia or exercise bulimia. My goodness, there's all kinds of machinations with food and weight that we've engaged in. Doesn't matter what it is. I use the umbrella term emotional eating because those behaviors are all driven in an attempt. They're driven by an attempt to escape our emotions, to control our emotions, to control things that feel out of control. So I just find emotional eating to be the best term. I love it because it's what's happening. You know, anytime I'm obsessing about food or obsessing about my weight, you know, I'm trying to avoid emotions that are tough to feel. So I talk about that in this episode. I'm really excited to share this with you. It's so simple. It is not, you know, I haven't discovered something new. But I've visited this hack recently and it helped me. I revisited it and it helped me. So I wanted to share it with you and in hopes that it'll help you too. On with the show. Let's talk about what happens when our minds are attacking us. And, you know, in my book, Heal Your Hunger, 7 Simple Steps to End Emotional Eating Now, but right here in this book, I talk about 24 personality traits of the anatomy of the emotional eater. And the anatomy of the emotional eater is basically the ways that we are as emotional eaters that have nothing to do with food that drive our eating. You know, if you just quit sugar, you're going to have a hard time. But if you deal with the emotional eater's personality, the traits that trip you up, you're going to have a much easier time. So I'm going to talk about one of those traits today because, you know, it snuck up on me. And so that's what happened. It snuck up on me. And I'm like, I got to do something about this or it's going to drive me nuts and drive me to eat. So the one I want to talk about, the trait in the anatomy of the emotional eater that's really troubling and got me into trouble is it's a cross between having a racing mind, okay, and being hard on myself. So I think that one's in here, having a racing mind and being self-judging. So those are 2 different traits of the anatomy of the emotional eater. If you want to know where I'm talking about in this book, there's this chapter called The Anatomy of the Emotional Eater. Anyway, so my mind, so here's the bottom line. As emotional eaters, we're super hard on ourselves. We're super self-judgy. And this also makes us critical of other people. So that's the other side of it. So it's a double-edged sword, you know, where we're hard on ourselves and then we're hard on other people. That's harsh criticism. Being hypercritical is part of being an emotional eater too. And these all exacerbate our food issue because, you know, we have to live with ourselves, okay? And when we're doing things that are hard to live with, we medicate our feelings with food. That's why this is such an important topic. So what happened? What happened was I had a relationship where I did something that hurt somebody. And this person brought this to my attention. I immediately apologized, of course, and said, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean you harm. I was actually trying to help, but I'm sorry. I can see why that would have felt bad to you. And as a result, this relationship just never repaired. Okay, it never repaired. This person, while we're on speaking terms, this person kind of moved on from the friendship. And this all happened this fall. And as you can imagine, that's painful. Like, it was painful for me that I made a mistake that hurt someone, first of all, but that my apology, my sincere apology, didn't change anything. That this person, while this person forgave me, this person didn't want to be friends anymore, didn't want to continue the relationship at the depth it had been. So I lost the relationship, and it was one that was very close. And so that was hard for me. It was painful for me. So recently, after we had a discussion about this, and this person explained, yeah, that's why I really don't want to connect with you anymore. Is because I forgive you, and yet I can't move beyond that, if we remain friends. So I had to accept that reality. And what that did, because I'm a deeply feeling person, another trait of the anatomy of the emotional eater, we're deep feelers, and I'm not medicating my feelings with food, thank God. I felt the pain and the shame of that, and then I kept feeling it. And so I would think of this person, and then I would feel the pain and the shame all over again. Like, I made this mistake. I can't take it back. I wish I could take it back. I feel so bad. I suck. Right? Like, when we have mistakes that we've made, we're really hard on ourselves. And we can also have that looping brain that just keeps revisiting the hurt. And my hurt was that I hurt somebody. It wasn't a hurt caused by somebody else. It was that I hurt somebody. And then the consequence of that. But my mind kept looping around, perseverating on the situation. And what would happen is I would feel sad and hurt and shame all over again. Have you ever had that situation where you replay, you have a racing mind, and your mind keeps replaying, looping back over the situation and reharming you with it? And this can be whether you're resentful of somebody else, like you're replaying a harm somebody caused you, and you keep, re-feeling it. That's what resent means. Sentire is to feel, the Latin root form of resent. And so, when you re-feel something, it hurts again. And for me, it wasn't a resentment, it was a hurt I caused, and I was beating myself up. And so I would keep beating myself up when my mind would think of the situation. So I want to talk about this because as emotional eaters, we are so sensitive. And as emotional eaters, when we do beat ourselves up, it often leads to overeating. If you've ever heard me talk about the PEP test, the PEP is three primary drivers of emotional eating. Okay, the three primary emotions. There are so many. We eat over emotions, period, right? We don't want to feel anything uncomfortable, but PEP is a way to get you started thinking that it's more than just, I like chocolate. So the first P stands for painkiller. We eat to kill pain. And if you stuff yourself with food, you don't feel anything. The pain's gone temporarily. So we eat for painkiller, we eat for escape. And if you relate to any of these, put it in the comment section. We eat to escape. What are we escaping from? Our minds, that racing mind, that perseverating, looping brain that keeps revisiting things that are hard and painful, revisiting mistakes that we've made. And so we eat to shut that down. When I was eating popcorn in front of the TV, I wasn't thinking about I wasn't thinking that I suck. I was thinking that I really enjoy this popcorn and I really want to tune out, and what's coming next. Like, what other food am I going to eat next? That's what I would think during a binge. I suck would come later, of course. But the point is we eat to escape our own minds. Fear, doubt, insecurity, self-hatred, self-flagellation. It's a busy place up there between our ears. So we eat to escape that. The last P in PEP stands for punishment. And this is certainly what I'm talking about. We eat to punish ourselves because although we're wanting to escape, that escape turns ugly, doesn't it? Like we escape for a little while. It's like we're away from our troubles. And then the horrible reality of what we've just done to ourselves and how we've punished ourselves with food. Thanks, Karen, for saying hi. Yeah, so we punished ourselves with food, and a binge and feeling sick and feeling, bloated and not fitting in our pants. And then the regret. I was talking earlier to one of my clients who had posted in our Facebook group, another Facebook group for people who are in my program. And she said, yeah, I posted about having not eaten the donuts I wanted to stop and eat. I wanted to stop by the store on my way home and buy donuts, and I didn't. And I'm so glad I didn't. I said, yeah, because the self-flagellation that comes after we do, right? After we give in, it's so hard. It's so hard. It's so painful. It's hard to let that go. We need to let it go. If we overeat, there's no sense in beating ourselves up about it. We already beat ourselves up with a binge. But we can save ourselves a lot of painful thoughts about ourselves when we don't give in, and lose control and kind of repeat the pattern. So point is PEP is the PEP test, eating as a painkiller, an escape, and a punishment, is certainly what we're used to doing with food. So thankfully, I wasn't using food in any way, but that meant I was feeling instead. I was feeling painful feelings. So I want to talk about, first of all, one of my favorite quotes from the Bible. I'm not a Bible thumper, but there's some awesome stuff in there. There's some scary stuff too. I stay away from that stuff. But in Philippians 4:8, it says, this is the King James Version. It says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. Think on these things. And I just love that passage because when I am beating myself up, when I am thinking about horrible things, scary things, ways that I suck, and my brain is looping that way, it's really important that I jump tracks and think on something good. Something good, something lovely, something of good report, because otherwise I'm stuck in feeling bad. My experience is my thoughts make me feel bad. Yeah, there's the situation that might be hard to take, a hurt caused by somebody or a hurt that we've caused. That's bad enough. But when I replay it, my whole body feels pain. Do you recognize that? Do you recognize how your body can feel just like it just, you're tortured all over again when you think about things. So oftentimes it's not the thing itself, it's our thoughts about the things. So when I replay something in my mind, I re-feel the pain. So the good news about that's hard, right? But the good news is we can think on other things and stop that pattern. And my experience, that's the only way. And the best thing I've found to think about is to think about God. To think about God, and you can replace that word with other things if that's a triggering word for you. I'm not religious, but I consider myself more spiritual, and I like thinking about God because it interrupts the pattern of self-flagellation. It interrupts the pattern of pain in my body. And I had to do this over the situation I just described. I kept playing it over and over, and it hurt me. I was abusing myself with the memory of having made a mistake. I am hormonal. I have to say that I'm in perimenopause, and I think hormones have something to do with how hard we can be on ourselves. So it's not just that I'm an emotional eater. I think, because for a long time I haven't been hard on myself, but it's kind of coming around again. And I think it might be because of some of my hormones, but doesn't matter. I still have to do something about it because I don't want to stay in that loop. So I think about God. Because I so don't want to go to that painful place. So I would just think about God. I'd pray. I'd ask God to heal my thoughts. But literally, I just think about God. So you can think about God. You can pray for other people. This works for me when I'm trying to fall back asleep at night, is I pray for other people. I lay in bed and I ask God to heal, people in my life who I know are going through a hard time. And prayer helps me fall asleep. And it's really fast oftentimes. If I can settle my mind enough to really focus on a prayer and a request for God, to heal something in somebody that they're struggling with, I fall back asleep. Isn't that amazing? So I'm just here to report my findings and to give you just a little, something to chew on. Stop torturing yourself with your thoughts about mistakes you've made or mistakes other people have made, perhaps against you. Feeling that all over again will just perpetuate overeating, because we eat to stop feeling bad, don't we? We eat to stop feeling bad. So we have to change our thoughts. I may not be articulating this as best as I want to, but we have to change our thoughts if we're going to change our feelings. It's hard to just change the feelings. Change your thoughts. Think about God. Think about something lovely. Think about something pure. Whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, whatsoever things are honest, just, pure. That's what's mentioned in the Bible. But think on something that can lift you out of that tortured place of pain, and your body won't be in pain, and you can feel a lot more normal. And when you return to that painful thought, do it again. Just keep doing it, and my experience is you can pray to have help to pray. Sometimes when I'm in bed and I know prayer will help me fall asleep, but I can't settle my mind down enough, I'll ask God to help settle my mind so I can pray. That's the beautiful thing about prayer. There's no end to what you can pray for. You can pray to be able to pray. Isn't that cool? And it works. So anyway, this is just these are findings of mine. I'm here to share with you my own personal experience of overcoming emotional eating. I'm a work in progress. I'm not cured. I just come to share things that I found helpful, because I know the pain and the shame of being addicted to food. And I know that diets don't work. And so I'm here to help you with your living problem, your thinking problem, because I know it directly impacts your eating problem, as it has mine. So hope you join us for the Quit Sugar Challenge. I love you so much. Thanks those of you who have shared. Jenny just put in here. She said hi Jenny. She said the Quit Sugar Challenge has been a life-changing experience for me. I had no expectations, but Tricia has guided me to a new, long-lasting way to find peace with food. I'm so grateful for her program. That is beautiful, Jenny. Thank you so much for putting that in there. Wow, that's incredible. Thanks so much for taking the time to share that. Beautiful. And yeah, join us for the Quit Sugar Challenge. You heard it from Ginny. Your life can change literally in 5 days. So thanks, everybody. Love you so much. I'll see you another time. Take care.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.